close to what looks like the edges of a hamlet along the creek, but it doesn't appear to be populated. You cross over the creek where you see this old wooden rickety bridge, just narrow enough to support one wagon, and it's very quiet out here. Deathly quiet. Save for the owl, the hooting owl.
I'm gonna sniff and see if I smell chimney smoke.
You'll need to make an awareness test. This test is trivial.
Because he said, smell it, you'll smell it coming. So, awareness, trivial is 75. Yeah, 13. Success.
You don't smell any chimney smoke at all. In fact, now that you think about it, it's a little too warm to have fires burning this late at night. Why would you need to warm a home in the middle of the witching hour?
Smell any smoke?
No.
Neither do I.
I was wondering, why would you have a fire in the summer?
The iron shod
early autumn, late summer.
The iron shod wheels kind of rattle and clack as they go across the
My lord, have you led us into disaster?
You hear this snapping sound as you're crossing the bridge. The wood beneath it is crumbling. You must react quickly and do something.
Across. Are we on top?
Who is in the driver's seat, or who's sitting shotgun with Ernst?
I was.
Okay. Make a handle animal test.
Okay. Flip to fail.
This test is routine. Quickly, as you all are inside the coach, it lurches forward. You hear this crumbling and cracking beneath of it, like the wood is threatening to crumble underneath the wagon.
All right, I got a 50. I rolled a 0-1 or a 10.
Nice.
Well, it's a 10 or a 0-1 because you flipped a fail.
That's right.
So it's
That's
a
right.
10.
Okay.
Did you never get the good result?
Suddenly,
Not when you flipped a fail.
the wagon, the horses lurch forward.
That's the best roll you could possibly have.
Oh, you know.
All 11.
Yeah.
And then the wagon stops, and you can hear both Ernst and Lord Wesley dismount. The wagon moves so such. You open the doors and look outside, and you see that bridge that you crossed, like the supporting beam, or not supporting beam, but the lumber across the supporting beams that stretches across that creek, has crumbled and snapped.
Oh, my.
You hear this rattling, what sounds like almost of tin cans underneath the bridge.
Should we get out too?
I will heavily sigh.
As you look
Perhaps
as you realize that this bridge kind of leads into what looks like a small hamlet, 5-6 buildings at best, wattle and daub roofs that have long since collapsed or burned or fallen into disrepair. Like if you look at those houses in England with the straw kind of rounded off at the top with the
Okay, so
with
there's
the clay
nobody
building.
living in this
That's
area.
right. This place is abandoned. The only light you have is a lantern that's swinging from the front of the coach, but there's no wind. It's still as night, very, very still.
Just because it's abandoned does not mean it's empty.
We could just light one of these buildings on fire and, you get...
Seems a bit excessive. I think we should count ourselves grateful that the bridge did not collapse, well, until after we got past, but...
Well, what is that creature making that noise?
There's no reason to tarry here. Let's move along.
Indeed, but we
I don't
can,
know.
making sure everyone's alright. I assume you're alright.
We're here. Horses here. Ernst. Hale. Healthy. Let's move.
Do we know how to get back to the road?
We go through the hamlet.
So we're still listening to this man who led us across a fucking dilapidated road.
Well, we cannot
Sorry,
go back,
my lord.
though, can we?
It means to snap. He led us across that. But we cannot go back. You cannot go back.
Only forward.
That bridge is, burnt, as they say, right?
What was that?
There are animals in these woods. You would be fine.
Just a simple timber wolf. That's all.
That is my family spirit animal.
Why is it got to be timber?
Because they're
All the
trees.
woods.
Well, that don't make me timber.
No, you're Tuck.
Well, of course my name's Tuck. So I'm not feeling timber.
I think you're using wood isn't timber.
I'll check out the
not
wagon
timber.
to make sure it looks like it's okay.
There's no damage to the wagon.
Not a
It's-
cuddly one.
It seems like perhaps the weight of the coach would have been enough just to kind of make that bridge, like, and maybe it was loose, or maybe it just was under mild disrepair. But it certainly snapped several of the planks, and there's no way you cross back over at this
Right.
point.
I'm just making sure that the carriage is all right.
And the carriage appears to be fine.
The horse is all right, and so well.
My lord, if you think that is going forward, it's a good idea. Then let's do that before we
Well, we go forward or we stop.
before one of these creatures of the night come after us.
There is only forward.
Did anyone hear the rattling of the tin underneath the bridge?
Yes, I did hear that, but isn't that normal on bridges? Metal
I am no
clamps.
craftsman. I do not know what to expect when crossing a bridge other than hearing the planks.
It's the sort of thing that when you open a shopkeep's door and they have hung bells or
Ding, 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 ding,
candles,
yeah.
what purpose do those serve?
Good to alert the keeper.
Someone's
You're
there.
Of
To
course.
alert someone that something is there. We need to move quickly, I say. I do
Well
not
then.
like this, as I said before. This feels suspicious.
Keep your eyes open and let us continue then.
Will you all huddle inside the coach? Will you stay outside to watch? What will you do?
I will, but I'll be getting back into the coach, my lord. There's that creature thing again.
Indeed. And keep your eyes open though. And your ears.
Oh yes, I will. Oh, I closed the shutters.
Yes.
I closed the shutter on my side.
The quicker we can move, the better.
Indeed, I will
I'll
remain
latch and close the shutter.
Should we be going the way that he said, or should we be going a different way?
Which way do I know is which way is towards the road? Because we went away towards the road.
You'd
across
have
the
to
bridge.
you'd have to pass through this hamlet
Get
if
back
you
to
were
the
to
road?
if you were to get on the road, as he said. Yes, the path would eventually join once again.
It
Let's
would
just move
seem
quickly.
that is the way.
I'll say behind the latch and the shuttered window. Yes, I agree with Madam. Let's leave.
Orin,
Who will be outside the coach and who will be inside?
outside.
Absolutely inside.
Tuck, what about yourself?
You want me inside or out?
No, I mean you've got good eyes, Tuck.
I did.
You've seen things in the past in the darkness in the forest.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so maybe you should keep an eye on the back of it.
I have very poor sight at night.
Oh, really? I don't feel like that's true at all.
Quick show of hands. Who will be inside? Raise your hand.
Well, he's definitely going to be if it's
Sir Harrison. Oh, you'll gain a corruption. Ignoble deeds. What is your chaos alignment, Cole? Ceol Marcus Marius II? Inspector?
Tyranny and ambition. Oh yeah.
Okay. So, Sir Harrison and Inspector Ceol Marcus Marius II shutter themselves inside the coach. The rest of you are either one of you is sitting shotgun with Ernst, the others are kind of hanging on by the rudder bars and sitting on the edge of the rudder bars as it's kind of rattling and rolling. And you realize you're going through this township. It's kind of this small winding path of overgrown grass. You notice that there's this, what looks like this old yard full of broken down carriages and all manner of disrepair, covered in high grasses. Those who are outside, at least.
This is not good.
Ernst stops immediately and, "Stand up, boy, stand up!"
I'll stand up.
He gets into the coach. He gets into the coachman's seat and lifts up the box, and he pulls out a blunderbuss and shoves it in your hands. Pack it, pack it.
All right.
There's a bucket of nails here. He takes it. He pulls out a bucket, like a pail, full of old broken boot nails and soil and gravel, anything else you could shove into the beak of this blunderbuss.
Why have we stopped?
I
We were moving.
open the door and step out.
Sir Harrison, the little foot thing comes down and flips over as he. His spurs strike.
I'll put up my.
Oh.
I'll point towards the clear ambush graveyard of old carriages to indicate what's happening.
Without a doubt, it is a graveyard of at least 10, 15 wagons and coaches in various states of disrepair. Most have been stripped down to the axle for whatever would be valuable to sell in the open market. Madame Krista called it, "You've been led astray," by a guard who has been plied by coin or other things. But you see no one yet, or see no one nearby. Perhaps they're sleeping. It is very late at night.
I'll get out and try to use my keen eyes to see if I see anything.
Okay. Begrudgingly, you step out of the coach.
My lord, you owe me for this.
You want to clamber up on top to get a good view?
Yep.
Okay. Right as Cole steps up on top of the coach, an arrow strikes the side of the wagon, and suddenly from all various directions, and you quickly duck down as you're just kind of peppering the top of the wagon as you realize that you stepped into an ambush. There are a number of people out there, and you were lying on top of the coach at this point, unable to really even. You were caught unawares, but you were not struck.
My
And
lord, there are
miss.
people out there.
Oh,
So we're gonna do initiative. We should have did this at the beginning of the session, but that's okay. We'll do it now. So, Mike, if you would, I'd like you to do initiative here on the board.
Do we need these are
They are.
oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
They're good.
Yeah, okay. Good dry erase, yeah.
George Thorgan.
So I rolled a 6, and I have an 8 initiative bonus for a total of 14.
Alright.
I realize that for purposes of recording, I'll be more distinct about
Oh, yeah, I probably
what
should
I'm
have.
rolling as opposed to.
Initiative 10, and I rolled the 9s for 19.
Alright.
Cool.
Cool.
I have an initiative of 9, rolled an 8 for a total of 17 for Harrison.
You have a 8 initiative?
I have a 9 initiative.
Oh, so you have 9, so you beat me. Alright, so
17 A and B.
yeah.
I have an initiative 8 and I rolled a 4, so I got 12.
Oh. 12 tuck. Alright. How big do you want me to write this? You want me to write this to where you can see it?
Those who are out and hear the bushwhackers. Bushwhacker! The road agents, one could say.
That's plenty big.
Yeah, that's
Get out of the car, Cole.
They have a 9 plus
Man, I
4. They have a 13.
took 3 sessions before I made a Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
It was
Revan's
gonna
Racing,
happen.
Cole.
Revan's Racing, Cole. Drop the hammer.
Cole Trickle.
Drop the hammer.
what were they called again?
Dick Trickle.
Road agent.
Dick Trickle's
Dick
NASCAR racing.
Trickle, a real guy. Yep.
Yep.
Cole Trickle, not a real
Cool.
guy. That's
So there
Tom
were
Cruise and
13.
Days of Thunder.
Anyone else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Then, so we
Alright,
got Cole as a 19. We got.
Traditionally, we would do this at the beginning of the session, but I think we'd forgotten to do
Yeah,
that.
we did. Because I rolled an 8 and I have a. I rolled a 9 and I have an 8, so I have a 17 as well.
Right.
So, but you beat me because your initiative bonus is higher. So, alright. So it goes Cole, and then our good nightly sir, and then me, and then the missus, and then the road agents, and then Tuck.
He's calling Clavenger if you can't remember his name. Sir
Sir
Clavenger.
Savager.
Sir Clavenger works.
It
It
takes
takes
me a
another
while to
long
learn
line of
names, alright?
Clavengers.
Sir Knight person.
He even fits
Sir
the mold.
Harrison.
He's got the hair color.
Lord Wesley is way too baked for all this, by the
Yeah,
way, for
yeah.
those who haven't forgotten. Yep.
What
The
direction?
devil weed.
What direction did the arrows come from? Or it was just one.
It
It was
did-
just
it-
one.
No, it was a
There were
volley.
several, but you won't be able to determine direction until it's your turn because you were surprised. We have to rely on the
Understood.
initiative ladder now to determine who will actually be able to actually react.
Huh?
Whoa. Brrr.
You let Micro do initiative.
What?
Love it. Thank you for writing that down.
B.
We will get this put up somewhere where we can reference it in the future. I just don't know where yet.
Nope, I
So the
didn't.
walls get put up down here in the basement.
17 B. 14. That was 13. That was 12.
Okay. Ceol Marcus Marius, you are the first to react. The one arrow just zings past you. The others, thud, 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 all along the top of the wagon, where they were laying in ambush. And fortunately, you have not been struck. What would you like to do?
Would like to determine where those came from.
Okay.
At least one of them.
All right. You quickly hunker down, looking around, make an awareness test. You can see in the dark, right? You have night
Yeah.
eyes? Okay, that's good. Night eyes. It is going to be a challenging test.
Challenging awareness. Okay, so 36. And I critically succeeded. Or whether that
Oh, nice. What is your
11
perception bonus?
7.
Okay. So,
Nice.
because you have a high perception bonus, you can actually count the number of assailants who are out there because you critically succeeded. There are 4. Amid there is one nestled inside. Looks like a broken down wagon.
I'm going to start
One-
naming them off.
Okay. He
My
points
lord,
out.
there's one here.
The first one he points out is the wagon. The next one he points out is near a doorway.
And I'm going to yell it out so they
Yeah.
know I know exactly where they're at.
That's good. The third is near along the edge of a house, and the fourth is directly behind you along the bottom of along the bottom of the bridge, like along the top of that creek lip where it comes up and where the cans were rattling before. There's one behind you, and seems to be one in every cardinal direction at this point.
So Harrison and I will take the 3 if you take the 1. Oh yeah. Intimidate.
What are you gonna do?
That's what I'm using. I mean, that's why I was screaming out. I'm going to use Intimidate.
Oh, fair enough. So let me
And
hit
you're
the
gonna
board.
die, and you're gonna die.
All right, go ahead and roll. This test, you are currently unharmed, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So your test is routine.
Okay. 52.
Oh, I was gonna assist because I have a.
It's not your turn. You cannot do that.
I can't assist with intimidation.
No, it's not your turn.
Okay.
No. You need to have action points, and your turn is not yet started, so you have 0 action points.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, you can assist a die roll as a reaction any time, providing you have action points. But because your turn is not started,
Okay.
you have 0 AP.
Oh.
Yeah.
14 this time.
Remember the very beginning of combat on the initiative ladder, because there aren't rounds. Everyone starts with 0 AP. What's that?
14 this time.
Succeeded. What's your brawn bonus?
4.
Okay. Well, clearly all 4 of them kind of, as you call them out, they kind of pop up, kind of passing glances between one another, and they remain in cover and concealment. It's hard to really make out who they are. You can see their loose kind of gray shapes in the shadows. They're visible to you. He points them out, but even as Cole does so, it is hard to discern out in the darkness what's out there. Your lantern is pointing directly in front of the horses, casting this long, kind of wicked-looking shadow in front of the carriage. It is hard to see anything, so you have 1 action point left.
Will that let me slide off and take cover from the majority of them?
I believe you need 2 AP to take cover, or no, you need 1 to take cover.
That's what I thought.
You can simply lay on your belly.
I will take cover.
Okay, fair enough. So next it's Sir Harrison. Sir Harrison, you just stepped outside of the wagon and you hear Cole on top of it call out, "They're over there, and over there, near the house, and near the..." But the only thing that you can see within the light is the yard of broken down carriages that these people have likely at some point or another taken their goods, killed them, left them to die, stripped them down, anything they're worth. You can't see anyone else, but you can see that person who's over there near the wreckage of the other caravans.
Okay, so that's the one person I can't see.
Yes.
Okay. Can I make it to him?
Sure, if you charge.
Okay. I will charge.
Okay. Suddenly, Sir Harrison charges forward. You hear his spurs, ching, 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 ringing as he's running. And because you're running without light to assist you in hand, you need to make a routine coordination test.
Okay. Take 59. And I did not succeed.
Ugh! You stumble forward, but you continue running, but must spend 3 AP to charge instead.
Okay.
You terminate just a few yards away from where the nearest wreckage of the caravan is. You can see the man kind of hunkered down behind the lip of a wagon. Wesley, it is your turn.
So I charged forward and made it to him, but didn't.
Right,
That's
your
right.
AP, you don't have
You
one
lost
attack.
an AP because you failed
Okay.
your
Can I
coordination
use an
test.
AP to attack?
You can use a fortune point
Fortune
to gain
point
an AP
to
to
attack,
attack.
yes.
Certainly.
Yes.
So give me a that. There we go. Cool. Okay. So you will draw your weapon, I'm assuming.
Yes. Swagger stick.
Oh, just the swagger stick.
Yeah.
Okay. He bends the stick, raises it above the man. You can see him kind of. You see that this fellow is wearing, I wouldn't say darker clothing, but clothing meant to hide his shape amid the wood.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say, not really a ghillie suit, but it's covered in bramble and thicket and such. You raise the stick and bring it down upon him. Go ahead and make a test. It is going to be a challenging test because he is currently in cover.
All right. So it's going to be a 46% chance to succeed. And that's critical failure.
Oh no!
Oh.
As you swing your swagger stick, perhaps because were you imperiled from the work previously? Okay, well that's good. You swing with your swagger stick and you leave yourself exposed for a moment, but you realize that the brigand does not take advantage of that. Instead, he quickly, or she quickly, or whoever it is, staggers back off the wagon, moving away, and you lose sight of that person. All right. It is now going to be Madame Krista's turn.
That's still my turn, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I missed. I
Yeah,
missed
'cause we
the
went
initial
back,
order.
yeah.
That's right. Sir Wesley, it's your turn. What will you do?
You've already successfully intimidated them, right?
Yeah, but we don't know the results of that. yet,
Right.
so-
So I mean, I'm just making sure because from mechanics-wise, it'd be not really
I mean, I named exactly where they're at.
right. So
Word
have I
of-
finished loading this
Well, they can't move, and
blunderbuss?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
supposedly.
When he pointed them out, I'm sure I was like, which one looks like the closest?
Well, the challenge you're running into is that I guess you were in the coach, so you were on the
I was on
coaches.
top.
Yeah, you're on top, so you managed at least, the general direction of 3.
Okay.
In the 4th, you can see hop over the lip of the wagon as Sir Harrison charges toward him with swagger stick in hand.
General direction.
Yeah. Basically, I just need to know kind of where they're at and angle it and pop.
Okay. You kind of turn around and you lift the blunderbuss and pull the lever. Blam! A large explosion. So, in order to, we probably should complete the load first on this. That seems
Okay,
to
so I
make
did
the
need
most
to.
sense.
Okay, spend some extra AP.
Yeah, it's for. I would say you spend 1 AP to finish
Okay,
the load.
so I'll do
spend
1 to
AP.
load, 1 to aim, 1 to shoot.
Okay, fair enough. You shoulder it. Blam! What's your perception bonus?
My perception bonus is 5.
Ooh. You pull the trigger and blast of gunpowder, but it finds no purchase. But the side of the house nearby is peppered with bits of rock and bit nail and gravel and dirt and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
As you were not close enough to strike.
Okay.
So you have 1 AP left. No, you spent
used
all your
all
hits,
my
right? Okay. Madame Krista.
I'll look around. I'll see that our lantern is the only light here, correct?
It is, that's right.
I am going to yell to everyone, like, adjust your eyes, we're sitting ducks. And I'm going to grab the lantern, sort of scramble on it towards the ground, grab the lantern and cover it.
Okay.
So that it extinguishes the light so that they can't just pepper arrows into, like, a silhouetted lit area. It's better that we all fight in the dark than that we fight in the light and they fight from there.
Madame Krista takes her shawl and throws it over the lantern. Her turn is over. And suddenly you all feel completely blind for just a moment. The road agents seem to shuffle and move around. You're not really sure where. You hear one of them go, caw, caw, caw! Make some sort of animal calling and went, one of them howls like a wolf. A clear howling, in fact, one could say it is. Clearly a howl.
None of you have ever seen a chicken, have you?
The howl of the chicken.
So, the road agents have gone. Tuck, it is your turn. It's dark. There's enough light to see by from the stars in moonlight, but it is starlight. It is difficult, but you can see something still.
I am actually going to take a moment to try and adjust my eyes, and Tuck's not a fighter, so he's gonna actually, he was on the side of the cart, and he's gonna kind of get under the cart next to one of the wagons to take cover and hide.
Okay. Alright.
That's basically where I'm at.
So, in order to hide, you will need to make a secret stealth test.
Okay.
So, you remember, your secret test is treated as a standard. I know the difficulty rating, but you do not.
Okay. So a standard stealth test would be 60%. And I rolled a 47.
Okay. You want to accept that rule or reroll?
I'd rather not use any more fortune points, so...
But I've got 4 misfortune
Yeah.
to use. Come on. Okay. You huddle up underneath the wagon,
Alright.
hoping.
So, how many AP have I used
That's
so far?
3.
So 3, 1 for moving, 1 for cover, 1 for hiding?
That's right.
Okay. Done.
Okay. Cole. You're up.
Have I been able to watch them
Well,
move around?
you were belly to belly with the wagon.
Okay.
You want to pop up and look around?
I would like to do that. Yes.
Okay. What is your perception bonus?
7.
7. Okay. What I want you to do is roll a d10 and add 7 to it. If you beat my roll of 4 plus a d10, then you spot them. I got an 8.
I got an 8, so 15.
Okay, so yes, immediately you spot them. They were trying to hide. They were using an opportunity to kind of reset where they were at and hopefully catch you unawares, but perhaps because Madame Krista threw her shawl over the lantern, that it put them, I'm going flat-footed, but you can see them clearly.
I'm going to name out their positions again.
Okay, so that's to be another action point. So he's pointing out they're in front of us and they're near the house. The other one is behind the tree now. The other one who was by the bridge is actually getting closer to us.
He's creeping up on us.
You have 1 AP left.
I can't intimidate them again. I've already done that. So hold on.
What are you looking for?
The action list. Where's the action list?
I won't worry about the actions of combat. If you feel there's something that you want to do,
No,
tell me
it's-
what you think you would want to do.
The non-combat action list. I can't remember all of them.
It's in the back of the book.
It's been so long since we've been in combat. Okay. So, is there a side of this coach that if I got down on the would I put enough cover between myself and the majority of them?
Certainly, but you need 2 AP to get down.
Oh, I do need to.
You have a skill rank in coordination?
I don't.
Oh, if you did, it only cost you 1 AP. But if you want to use a fortune point, it'll give you additional AP to do it.
I'll take cover again.
Okay, so you hunker down belly once again, just kind of laying low so you're not struck by arrows. Makes sense. Okay. Sir Harrison?
Really trying.
Am I aware of the presence of
Oh,
the
yes. You can hear heavy breathing, and you know that this assailant is near you, but you can't quite identify where they're at without taking a moment to take stock of the situation.
Which I will do.
Okay,
But you just told him where you were at.
exactly.
You said I need.
So I need you to... You don't roll anything.
Okay.
You're not going to roll percentiles. What you're going to do is, what is your perception bonus?
My perception bonus is 6.
So take 6 and add it to a D10. I take 4 and add it to a D10. If you beat me, or if we match, I win. If you beat me, you win. I got 8.
I rolled a 7.
Oh,
Plus 4, so
Plus 4?
I need-
plus 6, so
yep.
13.
Perception
Six.
bonus. Yep.
6 plus 1.
Oh,
7. I
seven.
rolled a 1
Oh.
actually.
Oh, you rolled a 1.
7 total. of
You
1.
spend a moment trying to take stock of the situation and identify where they're at, but you cannot see them despite the fact that Cole's like, right in front of you!
Oh my God!
What does front
Can I
mean?
keep looking?
What? Certainly.
Keep looking.
Okay, so now you will. Now your what is your bonus?
Six.
Now you're 5.
Now it's 5.
5. Okay.
So I got a 7.
I got a 13.
Okay. He is no more than a mere 2 yards from you, and you can see that the bow he was holding has been holstered, and he's pulled out. Well, for lack of a better term, it's a hunting sword. It's used to skin animals.
Okay.
These men are trappers, you would guess, or perhaps former trappers, for they're closing in on you right as we speak.
I will pretend to not see him and bank my last AP.
Love it. Okay.
Where you were trappers. Follow me and you will become trappers of men.
That's right.
Road Agent Jesus.
Love it. Okay, Wesley, it's your turn. Lord Wesley.
I will begin. I'll spend all 3 AP packing up this blunderbuss.
Okay. You'll still need 1 more AP
Yep.
your next turn to load it. Okay, Madam Krista, you have covered the light, which has actually probably been a boon because you've heard no slinging of arrows or cries from those who are trying to duck out of the way.
I will take the lantern with me and crawl under the wagon.
Okay.
And I will look to try to find them. I'll
Okay.
try to find someone based on his direction.
Okay. You will roll a D10, but I want you to subtract 2 from this and then add your perception bonus.
Alright.
I have a 4 plus 6, so I have a 10.
Alright, 10 minus 2 is 8 plus 5, 13.
Nice. You see one directly in sight. The one, as a matter of fact, that was behind you, who creeped up from behind the bridge where the cans were rattling. You see that he's hunkered down near what looks like an overturned barrel, and that he still has a bow in hand and has knocked an arrow, but has not loosed it yet.
How far away is he roughly?
Maybe 10 yards.
Okay. Did I see Tuck under here? I knew he was like.
Yeah, Tuck is like his back is
closer,
against a wagon wheel by the axle underneath. He's got a bit of grease from the axle on the side of his ear.
Alright, so he's basically like right next to me, like
Yeah.
hunkered down hiding. I'm gonna tug on his cloak to talk to him. Normally I would be whispering, but I'm obviously not gonna whisper so that everybody can hear me talk. It's like, alright, if we stay quiet, one might come over here, and when he comes close, I'll uncover the lantern, blind him, and then we'll jump him.
Right, okay. We'll do. I've never done this.
All right, road agent's turn. And like clockwork, as you're watching this person, he has an arrow knocked and he's creeping very slowly, kind of hunkered down on hands and knees. Oh, and he's coming up along the side of the wagon.
Okay.
If you both are able to succeed a stealth test, I will give you both surprise against him with an immediate turn you get to take now. Your test will be trivial, a trivial stealth test.
Alright.
But you both must succeed.
Okay, that's so cool.
A trivial stealth test for me requires a 73.
Okay, mine's 90.
I got a 53, so I succeeded.
I got a 10, so I succeeded.
Nice!
We did it.
Suddenly, Madam Krista, you will.
As he comes over, I'll immediately like stomp really hard on the ground to make him turn his attention. I'll immediately pull the shawl off the lamp and like
Okay.
blind his eyes with it.
Make a guile test. This test will be trivial as well.
Yeah, that happens to be something I'm particularly good
What?
at.
You're good at guile? No way!
This will be a
Lying is her.
92. 01.
Not only is it a
No
critical
one.
success, because it is during a surprise turn, you cannot resist during a surprise turn. So I will refund you that action point. Suddenly, he is blinded, and you have the opportunity. What will you do, Madam Krista?
I will use my my cudgel that I use as a walking stick to just like hammer him in the ankle as hard as I can. Just like completely like
Okay.
just right into the side of the ankle.
Makes sense. Make an easy,
Used to be a road
simple
agent.
melee test. I
All
believe
right.
it's what
So
simple
it's a
melee.
cudgel to the ankle.
42, 52, an easy test at 72%. Come on. I need to roll it bad.
Oh, I don't can.
Give it. Well, it's a critical failure. Can you roll it back?
No, you can't.
You can't reroll it.
I'll throw it back into
Oh
the-
no!
I
So
hit.
you crit failed?
Yeah. That
Oh
sucks.
no!
That's too bad.
These things happen.
Yeah.
As
All
you
that effort for nothing.
as you rush forward and swing the cudgel, you realize that the lantern you had in hand you knocked over, and the light suddenly winks out. It's your turn now.
Okay. I still kind of know where he is, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can see the shapes of his legs. You can see Krista leap out and swing toward his ankles, but she did not find purchase.
Okay. Are you done with your turn?
She is.
Yeah.
Alright, so then I will. The only weapons I have are throwing knives, so I will take one out for 1 AP.
Okay, keep in mind that you are beneath a carriage.
I understand, but
Okay.
in order to use it, I have to load it. So,
All right? So you got it?
alright, and then I will step out from the carriage,
Okay.
and then I will throw the knife at.
Okay. You can have stagger step and throw the knife toward him. It is going to be an easy test.
Okay. Alright, easy, simple range will be 79. And a 48 will succeed.
Okay. Roll damage. He can't dodge.
Okay.
He's caught unawares.
So one for normal
Yep.
and one for surprise.
That's right. Roll an actual D6 fury die for surprise.
Okay.
Noise.
And I rolled a total of 4 on the dice, and I get to add my agility bonus because it's a finesse weapon, so 10 total. I have a
Nice.
6 agility bonus.
Still nice. That's not bad.
Not bad. Unfortunately, he is lightly wounded as the knife kind of cuts him and he staggers back. Ah! He groans and grunts. You had the advantage. Shouldn't want to turn one of those 6-siders into a face 6 with a fortune point.
It's up to you guys.
Nah.
We're kind of low in the pool.
Yeah.
Right, so, but if we do turn it into a 6, that means I get to roll another one as well.
Well, that does change things a little bit.
I'm cool with whatever, man.
How
Do
many-
it.
How many
Do
do we
it.
have?
Just
Okay,
two.
It would be a
Go ahead, do
it would be a real shame if our ruse didn't take him down.
And True Blood.
They're for critical moments.
Yeah, it felt.
Critical
one
dramatic
of
moments.
We
You
need to
can,
be
It
changed.
feels like we deserve to kill this guy,
We need to change.
and this guy deserves. To
so it's 6 in 1, and then roll another
Choose the dice
D6.
to change, right?
What's that?
You can choose the one to go to
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to choose the one to go.
I will choose the. That would be really shitty. Rules.
Yeah.
You can do it to change the lowest one to a 6.
You have to change the
Very
highest
oddly specific. Why would you do that? I don't know. So let's roll damage. Let's get going.
Alright.
Okay, another 4 on top of that, so 10 plus 3 is 13, plus 6 is 19.
19. Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
He is seriously wounded.
Ugh.
Roll 2d6 to see if he's injured.
Injured.
He's not injured.
Okay. He staggers back, almost letting loose of the arrow that's knocked in the bow. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, me.
So your surprise turns are now over, and Matt and Krista, your turn actually is over too. So it's now their turn. They're next on the initiative ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So as you wing the blade toward him, he staggers back. As he staggers back, he pulls the bow slightly to the side at a 2 o'clock angle and looses an arrow.
Okay.
Sideways tailsman grip, as they say. Will it find purchase? We'll find out. It's a 55% chance to strike. And a 90 will not do it. But I think I'm going to reroll that with a misfortune.
What? Shit, with how many you have.
I know. I've got like 4.
Like
of them,
literally
gentlemen.
shoot?
That's right. So it's still 55% chance to strike. And it's a 24, so it hits. Do you have any I guess you don't have any action points
I do not.
to dodge. So you will suffer 7 plus 4. So 11 damage.
Okay.
Ugh!
So I am lightly wounded.
That stings. But the arrow did not puncture any muscle, which is fortunate. The other road agent the others who are out there, suddenly near Sir Harrison, you see him pop up and loose an arrow toward you.
Okay.
Very quickly.
I thought he had his cudgel out.
You're absolutely right, he does. It's not a cudgel, it's a saw.
Or yeah, he had his
It's
other weapon
yeah,
of
it's
some
a hunting
sort.
sword. It's a hunting sword.
I would have gone towards him.
No, you're absolutely right. So
You
he
close
will,
up that range.
he will step back up on top of the wagon, the broken down wagon in the middle of the grass, and make his way up this slope, and then just kind of swing wildly toward you, almost trying to use both his body weight and the weight of the weapon to either hurt you or to toss you up the top of this thing. So I got a 55% chance. I got a 16.
Okay.
You have any AP to parry?
I have an AP to parry.
Okay. Your swagger stick is a martial melee?
It's martial melee.
Okay, good. All right. So go ahead and make your test. My test was challenging, so your test is routine.
Routine. That's going to be a 66%.
You get the higher ground.
Percent chance to succeed.
Nice.
And that is a failure.
Okay. You bend the stick and raise it to dodge the blow, but as he takes one fainting swing, he stabs and the weapon bites. You're going to suffer 4 plus 4, so 8 damage.
Okay. I'm lightly wounded.
Okay. As he does that, his shoulder bowls into you as he attempts to knock you down.
Okay.
It is once again a challenging test, and for him it is going to be a 50% chance, so 50-50. 32! He puts all of his weight in his shoulder. You need to resist, making a routine coordination test.
Coordination. Okay, that's
Lest he
going to
knock you over.
59. And that's a success with a 58.
Right. Well, you simply shove him backward with your great weight and stance. You are a trained knight, after all. A cadet, but still a knight no less. You square up for a moment and step to the side with the swagger stick in hand, ready to give him a thrashing. The other one who was near the doorway you see him quickly you hear him pad across the way, and you can even see him now that your eyes have adjusted to the darkness. Those who are near the coach at least can see him kind of move over, and as he moves, he looses a shot and continues moving, taking basically a wild shot toward Lord Wesley.
Who's not even looking.
My test is going to be a 55%. 48. As you're loading 11, do you have any action points?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Okay.
Spends all 3.
Okay.
Look.
You will suffer 7 plus 4, so 11 damage.
Okay. I go down to moderately wounded.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Roll a d6. Let's see if you're injured.
Ouch. Ooh.
Yeah, none of
1. I am not.
Okay. No injured. That's good. Okay. And the 4th you have lost sight of. Where did that one go? Okay. Tuck, it's your turn.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
You threw the knife, and he loosed the arrow, and it winged your arm, and you're no more than 3 yards away from him at this point.
Okay. So at that point, Tuck is not a lethal fighter, but he's been in a few street scuffles, and he would rather be in that position than having arrows shot at him and him throwing knives. So he's gonna close the distance
Okay.
with the movement, with the walk, and then he's going to try and take him off his feet by sweeping the legs.
Okay. Make a coordination test. This test will be. What is your build?
Sweep the leg,
I
Johnny.
am. Good question. Probably not large.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
There's no luck.
I'm frail.
Frail. Ooh, it's going to be a challenging test for you.
Challenging. Okay.
Not slender, but frail.
Frail.
Hard test.
Hard
Sorry,
test.
he is a normal build.
Okay. It's a 30% chance.
Is a house rule I'm adopting, which is depending on what your build is versus the other. If you're trying to take somebody down who's larger, it's just going to be tougher.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Gunter when you need him? This is where
Yeah.
Gunter could be really useful.
62 will not do it.
Okay. Want to reroll?
What about
No.
the super? What's the super fat one?
Corpulent.
Corpulent.
Well, I mean, I think it would be easier to knock a corpulent person down with balance. Depending.
Are
It's
you
a
saying that
conversation
corpulent
for
people
another
are less balanced? I would disagree with that.
Well, anyways, let's.
Let's argue afterwards.
Yeah.
I
So.
guess either way. Sumo people are not easy to push around or
Right.
knock down.
So
True, that's true.
I've walked.
strength.
I've used
Big
one
squares, big walls.
perilous stunt,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm just gonna try and sock him in the jaw or something like that.
All right. You. Swing outward with a wild left hook. Roll to strike. It's going to be standard.
Standard. Okay, it'd be a 49. And a 17 will do it.
Wham! You send him spinning. Roll damage.
This will be.
Brown base.
Oh yeah, brawn based. Okay.
Pummeling.
It's 5. Plus 3 is 8.
Yeah. You hear the sickening crack, and suddenly his jaw, he goes spinning for a moment as he's grievously wounded.
You mean grievously?
Grievously wounded, so it's
I've already
lightly, moderately,
Oh, yeah, lightly
seriously, then grievously wounded.
Or unless you want to.
So roll
Fantasy tactics,
3d6.
Are they confused? See if you injured him.
Yeah.
No 6s.
No injuries. Well, remember though, pummeling weapons only ever do weak.
Right.
Only do light
Light.
injuries, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, he's grievously wounded, and he drops his bow down and drops to a knee and grabs a hold of your jack of the clothing that you're wearing, as it's basically life or death for him at this point. Cole, it's your turn.
I see this going on.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna.
Remember the edge, no more than just a yard from you, but it's over and down across the. So if you imagine this table's the size of the coach, you're probably on this side, and it's happening just more than just a couple yards away.
Okay, so I'd have to drop down and move.
Or you can just leap off the top of the carriage with the coach on top of him.
I don't know anything about that. Let's try that.
Okay. Ha! Suddenly Cole leaps off the top of the coach, trying to tackle the one that's on the near the ground with Tuck, as he's ready to rear back with the fist himself, the assailant. Make an athletics test, and this test will be what's your build?
I am normal.
Okay, so it'll be routine. You got higher ground.
From the turnbuckle.
From the turnbuckle.
Okay.
Oh God, that man has a family.
Across
37
from
does it.
Cole.
Nice. Okay, his
I do love me some
he will
high flyers.
oppose with coordination, which
Yep.
for him is going to be normally a 50, but it's challenging for him, so it's going to be 40. 73. That is a failure. However, I'm going to use a misfortune point to reroll that. It's that time of night.
We had this coming.
You did.
Yeah.
Pay the piper.
100.
Oh
Critical
my
failure.
goodness.
Not only do you leap off,
I break his neck.
and he falls to the ground.
You did that twisting thing.
The weight of your body as you drop down and you hear this kind of crunching sound, you realize that you've broken this man's windpipe. Inadvertently, perhaps. There's this, if you can imagine the snapping of a very thick carrot, snap, a slow snap. That's what you hear beneath the skin, and both you and like you're just you both kind of cringe at the sound, but there's no time. You're surrounded, and there's still quite a few around you. So that is your turn, Cole.
So
Sir
there's all
Harrison.
3 to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Sir Harrison, what will you do?
So I have higher ground above this guy.
If you can imagine that you were the wagon is kind of tilted, and you're at the top of it, and
Okay.
he's kind of at the bottom like this, and you're kind of down like this with a swagger stick.
Okay.
Tell him not
And
to
what's
do
behind him?
Nothing but grass.
Okay.
It's kind of the wagon's broken near the area where he's standing, where he clambered up on top of it.
Okay. I will take aim and strike.
Okay, it's going to be an easy test.
Easy test will make it a 76% chance to succeed. And I rolled a 42, so that's success.
Roll damage.
Damage will be 3 plus 7 is 10.
Whoa.
And this is a powerful weapon.
Oh, so he's shoved backward. Whack, whack, whack! His 3 quick swipes with his swagger stick and pap, pap, and then lunges into it with the butt end of it, and he goes, falls off the end, dropping his weapons just outside of easy reach.
Okay.
He is moderately wounded. So go ahead and roll a d6 and see if he's injured.
Do it.
Nope.
No.
No injury.
So
No injury.
I've got the 1 AP left.
You do.
So would I need to jump down there to get to him?
You would.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. You jump down for 1 AP. Alright.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so let's move on now to Wesley. Lord Wesley.
I will hurriedly still
Okay.
pack this blunderbuss. Now having a bit better idea of its range, I will take some cover if I can, and either on the opposite side, as Cole has called out multiple times where these guys are. I will try to move and then hunker down if
Okay.
possible, or
Okay.
hunker somewhere.
You're near the very corner of the coach. You've got the blunderbuss and it's burning fuse in hand. So that's 2 AP at this point. One is in sight.
Oh, do I? Can I estimate that he's actually in range?
Yes,
Okay.
he is. Yes.
Oh, well then.
He crawled forth from the home earlier.
Okay, well then.
Pow! You come up against the edge of the coach, and then quickly, blam! He pulls the lever and roll to strike. It's going to be an easy test. And blunderbuss is simple ranged.
Easy. Simple ranged. That is going to be a
Easy enough
52.
that can wield it.
That's a 42. That's a success.
Blam! Roll damage.
What kind of shot you get with that thing?
What kind of shot?
Yep.
What do you mean?
I mean, what are your qualities?
Oh, the qualities of the weapon?
What kind of good stuff are you about to do?
Oh, good, bad, for
Blunderbuss is entangling. It's entangling.
It's gunpowder, volatile. What
Brutal,
was it?
wasn't it?
Gunpowder, shrapnel, volatile, and weak.
The shrapnel's the one that I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. So 1 plus my combat bonus, which is a 4, is 5 total.
Okay. He is lightly wounded.
Okay.
These weapons are not necessarily powerful. It's just they're good if you can collect a couple people within range.
Yeah.
Fortunately, where you're at, it also peppers the man who was already dead,
Oh.
just covered in boot nails and gravel near you. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh.
So it is now Madame Krista's turn. What will you do?
All right, I probably heard this guy like cry out, and I know where he's at based on that
Yes.
shot. I can see him. I'm gonna turn and run and take a swing at him. And I'm not a fighter, but it's life or death right now.
You raise the cudgel in hand and bring it crashing down. It's going to be a routine test as you charge forward.
All right, so a routine test. This is a simple melee weapon.
Yes.
And so this gives me a 62% chance to hit on this. I rolled a 47, so I did strike.
Nice. Roll damage.
All right.
And 1 extra for charge.
That's all right. One additional d6 because you charge.
Yeah, so 2 plus 6 plus 1, so 7. 9 points of damage.
Add an additional
You rolled
d6.
2d6.
Oh,
Yep, because
I
you
did
charged. That's right.
I'll roll that other one. And
That's a
let's
6.
make it a 15 points of damage.
You rolled a 6.
Keep rolling. You roll
Oh,
face
yeah.
6. You continue rolling.
Sorry, guys.
It's
been a
okay, no
while.
worries.
No, I'm apologizing to our people.
1 damage is 1 damage.
But 16 points of damage, and the weapon is powerful, so he's knocked
Oh,
back.
shit. Okay, so, Madame Krista, fighting for her life, raises the cudgel, and there's this kind of crunch sound as she brings it across his face. And you see that his eyes instantly welt up, like this blood pouring to the top of his head as he's grievously wounded. Roll 3d6, Krista. If any of these are phase 6,
Injury.
1, 1, 5.
No injuries.
no injuries tonight. Alright. Grievously wounded, no less. Okay, so we now move to the road agents. The one that you whacked across the head with the cudgel is staggering back and kind of falls against the house. And you try to figure out what's going on. He drops his cudgel and calls you wench as he reaches out trying to disarm the weapon out of your hands. He's just seemingly not armed with anything else. This man smells of grog and wood smoke. He smells like someone from the woods. 88, it's a critical failure. As he lunges forward to grab your weapon, it gives you an opportunity attack as you raise it once again for a routine strike.
I'll just
He
bring
opens
it
himself
directly up into his face as he comes close.
Alright.
Or at least I'll try. Routine strike.
Yes.
That's still a 62% chance as before. I rolled a 14, so I hit.
Okay, roll damage.
So
Big money, big money. No whammy.
6 plus 7 is 12 points of damage.
Okay. Bat! He staggers back and kind of falls against the house. The power of the blow from her muscly strength sends him staggering back, and he slumps against the wall, and with a slight gurgling sound, you realize that the man has been knocked unconscious and will expire very soon. You hear this
Breathe heavily, just sort
this sort of whistling
darting
sound
around.
kind of come from the one of them that's nearby, the one that's near you, as he watches what happens.
They're all dead.
Quickly, the one that was behind you all, he turns face and bolts off into the distance, running completely away, abandoning his comrade who's near you, lying on the ground. He whistles with both of his fingers, and he's looking around as he pulls himself up to stand. He has no skill in coordination, so... No, I'm sorry, he does. So he stands up for 1 AP, and he quickly turns around and attempts to run away. Will you strike this man before he runs?
I will.
Oh! You dishonorable cur. You will gain 3 corruption, but you may make your attack.
Okay.
Knight who will strike a...
I didn't want him to get away. I wanted to question him. So, what's the chance?
It is going to be easy.
Easy chance is gonna make it.
And he's running away, so you had an additional D6 fury.
76% chance to succeed. And that's a success. That's 7,
Uh-oh.
11, 18 damage.
Well, as he turns around, you take the swagger stick and bap up on one ear, and you snap it against the other, and you realize the ear is half hanging off of his head as you just you thrash this man as he expires very, very quickly before you.
Oh.
You all are... Yeah, he's slain.
Okay.
You all are...
I didn't mean to do that.
You brought him to heal.
Okay.
Pummeling time.
He falls to the ground, face first into the muck. You all are breathing very heavily, fighting for your lives. As you try to take account of yourselves.
Thank you for that.
Are there any left?
He ran off.
One's in the wind.
You woke him.
Are any breathing still?
Unfortunately, no.
This one,
That one is.
this man is alive.
He's been
He is
brained,
alive.
but
His eyes are kind of crossed over. He's having difficulty kind of keeping a steady gaze, but still is sitting kind of with his back against the house. Yeah. Mommy, he says, murmuring.
he's begging for his mother. Madame Tristo,
Anything you can do for the men?
Madame Krista can't really respond. She's sort of flustered. She's never really, killed a man so much before. This is all sort of a new experience. So hands are sort of shaking, filling me with that adrenaline rush. But no, we have to go. We have to go.
They have all fled. We are safe now.
No, we are not safe. We are not safe. We can expose the guards' evil tricks. The toll agent. They'll go back to them and they'll come to kill us in their ringmail with their swords. We've got to go.
Well, I think we have a little bit of time, but is there anything you can do for that man, or should we put him out of his misery?
I'll try to stumble with my hands shaking through my medicine bag to see if there's anything.
Trying to put a calming hand on.
Help to do it.
It sounded like a carrot snapping. Did you hear that?
I have a.
Reminded me of the leak.
I have an ancient Rovaynian ointment that cures many ills that I can rub on an open wound and sore to try to.
My lords, we use our salves on these vagrants. Just
I
let the
only
man
asked.
expire. He would have killed us.
We are not butchers and men.
What will you administer?
I'm going to give him a laudanum, which is the +1 on the damage condition track.
Okay. The man has clearly been brained and is incapacitated. He's uncertain what's going on. He can barely form any words, but perhaps with Madame Crisp's balm he will survive. But Crisp's words still strike true. One did get away. What if he goes back to the toll agents?
Tie him up. We'll take him with us. We'll expose these road agents.
Well, if you're asking me to tie somebody, I don't have manacles.
I'll look
I
towards
don't know how to use
Lord
rope.
Sir Harrison.
You can still hear the man breaking through the brush as he is fleeing.
See that he is bind.
I don't have any rope with me.
I didn't
Just put
say.
him in the carriage.
Butter.
Watch him. When he starts to rouse,
Well,
we'll be ready.
None of you have rope.
Okay, then
Fine,
someone
fine,
bind him.
Fine.
Load
no,
up,
No.
and we're
fine.
going.
We can use mine. I figured I'm not using it right now. And pull
I'm gonna
out
check.
some-
I'm gonna check the other 2 bodies and see if there's anything on them.
2 men have been slain, and everyone will gain 2 corruption. Whether by accident or by purpose, you have killed a man today.
We're not.
You have killed men today.
We're not murderers either. We're not used to fighting.
Okay, that's all new.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess
To be fair, yeah,
We're being good guys this campaign.
I
I
don't like
was
it.
trying to knock him down. It just didn't work out.
You rolled too well. Warning wax, not death. Wait, what?
What?
I'll
It's warning shots.
Oh.
Not words.
Well, it's not your Masimoto. I'm
You
trying to
can't-
give him a new one.
Yeah.
Warning wax, not words.
I didn't have time to try to trip him. I used what was in my hand.
So basically, you shoot first, ask questions later.
Oh.
That worked really well for us.
Well, they shot first, but okay, yeah.
I will gesture towards the man who has sort of like a haphazard like bandage on his head that sort of has basically like sort of glued his brain. His shut. There's not much to it, but hopefully it'll be enough.
You've done all you can.
This is where we've got to go.
We'll see,
Let's
man.
leave him here and let's go.
Let's not leave him.
No, we're taking him with us.
Somebody else is going to do this.
I-
We're gonna do this
rope.
again.
Right.
You went to your fancy school, finishing school. You can tie it.
That's what I have you for.
Well, I know it's simple.
Well, he's going to be in a carriage. He's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, alright. I can tie him.
Sir Harrison's going to look after him.
The hamlet grows quiet.
Let's go. If I say a task, do the task. Let's
Will
go.
you pick these men clean of their valuables?
Yeah.
Okay. You will find well over 16 shillings between them both.
Oh.
The money is covered in blood.
You ever seen any that wasn't? Judgment Night. Thank you very much.
You all quickly gather.
What about these bows? Anybody want? Is there and then I'll take the bow too.
Dennis
One of the
Leary.
bows and
Okay.
Krista
You're going to dash up
Wolf-feather.
a hunting bow, and you will manage
I think
to
that was Dennis
collect a
Leary. Yeah, I'm
total
almost
of
certain it was.
3 arrows.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take another if there's any others.
The other bow is snapped,
Okay.
Okay.
but
you
his
want to go?
hunting sword
You use it?
remains.
I can't use it.
Sure.
Okay, cheers.
Under normal circumstances, we would take men such as these to justice, but as we have been led here by the guards, what say ye?
We're taking this man to the next coaching station. He'll be dealt with by a reeve. Let's go.
Yes, Lord.
The longer we take, the more likely that we are being set upon by those corrupt toll keepers.
Well,
Well,
I
let's
grab,
guard them as well.
I'll grab the
That's
lantern.
why I'm trying to
put it
make
on
sure
the
that
front
our horse
start
and
trying to find our way. This
Ernest
back.
are.
Do I find my throwing that through? Is
They
it
will
lost?
become more desperate and
Lost.
aggressive if they know that their scheme is about
Unless you
to
want
be
to stay
exposed.
behind and try to find it.
Yeah, it's alright.
That is a concern.
We definitely need to send Mode back with a reed. That's a great idea. But this way, I've got the lantern and I'm trying to find our
Alright.
path back to the road.
Light the lantern. Let's go. Put it back on the carriage.
You all leap onto the coach and quickly ferry yourselves away from this hamlet of death. And we'll wrap up here for the night. So, everyone will get 100 reward points.
Yay!
And we need to do our corruption roll.
Corruption.
So, remember, if what I roll in this D10 is greater than the number of corruption you've gained, you increase your order rank 1 step. Is equal to or less than, you gain a chaos rank permanently.
Alright.
So,
Is there those that do you roll for everyone at once?
yep, I roll for everybody. So, the roll is 8. It's equal to 8 or below, that's 1 chaos rank. If you had
mine
more,
on
if you had 9 corruption
I
or
got it.
10, you gain an order rank. Sorry, backwards. My apologies. You're right. Flip.
Okay. I was like,
Every,
wow.
every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And you wrote the game.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rules to remember, to be fair.
Fill your hearts.
Yay!